questions. This is the Quick Bite Podcast.
Welcome to the Quick Bite Podcast. I am your host, Brian Klinger. Today is the debut podcast of Quick Bite. I'm so excited, and I could not think of someone better than Stephanie Stuckey. What an American icon. She's got a story that needs to be told, and it is an American comeback story. Who doesn't love a good American comeback story? Stuckey's is a story that really starts back in 1937 with her grandfather in Eastman, Georgia. And then from that, over 8 decades later, Stephanie Stuckey takes this iconic roadside brand, the pecan log rolls, and you've got the tin roofs and the gas stations. And I think at one time it was hundreds of locations across 30 states. And Stephanie is now at the mantle to turn this business back into its glory days and really make it, I would say, even better than ever. And Stephanie Stuckey, what a pleasure it is to have you on the Quick Bite Podcast.
Our company was founded by my grandfather in 1937 as a roadside pecan stand in Eastman, Georgia. And he grew it from that to what was really the OG of roadside retail. Before there was TA or Love's or Buc-ee's, there was Stuckey's. We had 368 stores in 40 states at our peak. We had gas, clean restrooms, quick hot meal, all sorts of kitschy souvenirs that we were kind of having fun with earlier, like the back scratcher and, this no button and, just silly stuff that, Mexican jumping beans and name drop items. And we sold all that fun stuff. So we were just sort of the road tripper's best friend, from families to truckers. But my grandfather sold the company when I was a kid, and it was out of our family for decades. And fast forward 5 years ago, I had the completely unexpected opportunity to buy the company. I'm a lawyer, and I've practiced environmental law for most of my career. And I was head of sustainability for City of Atlanta. I'd also been a state representative for 14 years and was teaching as an adjunct at the University of Georgia School of Law, my alma mater. So I had a life, right? And was not looking for a career change in my early 50s at that point. But it's my family legacy, and I wanted a chance to revive it. So I bought the company 5 years ago and formed a team. I have amazing business partners. This is not a solo journey. This is a team sport, reviving a brand. And we've had to revive it because there are very few stores around anymore, just a handful. And so our focus is really making delicious pecan snacks and candies. We purchased a manufacturing facility, and we are reviving all of our original Stuckey's pecan snacks and candies, just like my grandparents did.
Hey, listen, Stephanie, you know the rules. There's 10 questions every guest is asked, and we're going to dive in to understand what makes Stephanie Stuckey tick. Let's get into the mind and the heartbeat of who Stephanie is. And so we're going to roll through these 10 questions, starting with number 1. What's the best piece of business advice you've ever received?
Well, there's so many, but I'm just going to give the one my dad always said, which is hire good people and get out of their way. Although I would say when you take business advice, make it your own. I don't get out of their way. I try to learn from them because you hire them for a reason, and support them and be there for them and make sure you're partnering with them. But yes, hiring good people, the most important thing you can do. Your most important hire, I think, is your human resources management.
Yeah. Agreed. And what are the top 3 qualities of a great leader in your opinion?
Persistence. 100%. I mean, that's like way up there. Like, you have to be willing to persevere even under really tough conditions, which we've had some hard times. So persistence and passion, believing in what you do. And, oh gosh, I had a third. There's so many. All right. Persistence, passion, and creativity.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I agree with everyone.
I started out with 10 things and I narrowed it down like, okay, these are the top 3. And we do this exercise with our team, and creativity was top of the list.
I agree. It's also that mindset of let's break the status, quo, and let's break molds and all that good stuff, because you have to innovate. Matter of fact, I posted on LinkedIn just this morning about the cautionary tale of Kodak, who had an opportunity to innovate with digital photography right under their nose. It was in their house. The person invented it right there that worked for them, and they passed on it. Right?
agree.
So
I am obsessively studying businesses that fail, and without a doubt, number one reason, you fail to innovate. You fail to change with the times. You don't recognize that,
that's it.
Blockbuster video, people are no longer using video. You
You got it.
gotta change your business model. You gotta adapt with the time. But look at Netflix. They started out, mailing the CDs. I used to get those, and now they're streaming. Like, they adapted and they thrived and they grew.
That's
So,
exactly right. Yeah,
Converse sneakers, they went way down, and then they realized, like, okay, we got to be relevant to a whole new generation. So they reinvented
that's right.
themselves. So
That's right.
you can do it,
No,
but
you
you got to reinvent yourself.
do. You can never just stay stagnant. In your opinion, there's a lot of people I know that'll be tuning into this that are aspiring for leadership, or they're not satisfied with where they are. They want more, and they want to take on a leadership role. Or maybe they're just a young person starting out, or maybe there's somebody that's been in a career and they want to change and they want to take on the leadership mantle. What do you think? How does someone become a leader, in your opinion?
Show initiative. Raise your hand, volunteer, stand up. When I was at the City of Atlanta, I was head of sustainability, and we had a staff of 20 people, and we had one young woman who's incredibly ambitious and has been so successful in her career. And I remember she came to me one day and said, "Hey, I'd like to do an intern program for the office." And we would have interns, but we really didn't have anything super coordinated. We just have them like shadow us and give them stuff to do, but it wasn't a structured program. And I said, "Sure, have at it." Next thing I know, she has got like a dozen interns. She's got a whole program. She's got a lunch and learn program. I run into the mayor one day, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to go speak at the lunch and learn for your intern coordinator." I'm like, "What?" Like, and she didn't, she just saw an opportunity, and she just came to me and said, "Hey, I want to do this." So I just thought, how often, I mean, as a leader of a company, if every now and then we get one of our workers and our team members come to us and say, "Hey, I got this great idea and I'd like to help execute." Like, immediately I'm thinking, we need to promote that person. That's leadership.
Yeah.
We always try to hire from within. That's our number one. We don't put out a job posting till we have thoroughly exhausted our internal research on who could fit that bill. But when people start volunteering and show initiative, I'm like, yeah, let's keep our eye on that person.
Yeah, that's smart. No one's going to care about your company initially more than those folks inside the company that are helping to build it and this rebirth. And I think that's brilliant to give those opportunities first. Look inward before you look outward. Let me ask you this. It takes, like you said, about finding those people that do raise their hand, they take initiative. In some ways, you're showing faith in these people, and sometimes people just need someone to believe in them. What role does faith play in your business life?
Oh, a lot. I'm a Christian. I definitely pray all the time, and I have moments of reflection. Whether you're religious in the traditional sense, or you are just spiritual, or I shouldn't say just spiritual. I think spirituality is incredibly significant. It's so important to keep you grounded in something that's so much bigger than you. And I have morning meditations. I start every day. I have a glass of water, and I have about 15 minutes where I just if I'm really rushed, I'll do a YouTube video. I'm a big fan of Eckhart Tolle, so I'll listen to one of his videos and have that be my morning meditation while I'm putting my makeup on and getting ready. And then I always try to move around a little bit, take a morning walk, just clear your head, think of nothing, just be still, be reflective, be connected with something so much bigger than the worries of this world, and you'll realize you'll get through it.
I'm a believer as well, and I start my day off, and I can tell you the days I forget to, I just get rushed and I'm out the door. It makes a difference with how you start your day grounded, whether it be reading the book of Proverbs or some passage, or you're listening to a song. I love to go for walks and listen to some good Christian music, and I love all kind of music, but there's something about, like Forrest Frank is somebody I'm really into. Matter of fact, Spotify does a summary of your listening, at the end of the year. And I was in the top 1% listeners for him. Like, there's a song he does called, It's Gonna Be a Good Day. It's called Good Day. And it is so encouraging and uplifting. So to your point, Stephanie, it's like that really does give you that anchor because look, we all face stress and adversity. What are you falling back on? How are you holding on? So well said. I love that. So who's had the greatest impact on you professionally and why?
I mean, it's hard to say there's any one person. I would just say that it's having a network of friends and family. And I think too often we overlook the value of friendship.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't stress enough how important my friendships are to me and how I can always turn to them. And so I guess I'm going to say my best friend, my BFF. I'm thinking about her, especially today. It's the anniversary of her father's death and something I remember every year. He's been gone for a couple of decades now, but anyway, the friendships we have that are deep and lasting, I think can really sustain us through our entire lives. She and I have been besties since college.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. I tell people all the time.
Yeah. There's 4 a.m. friends, right? You can just call them anytime.
Yeah. That's it. You took the words right out of my mouth, Stephanie. As I say, who do you call when the chips are down or you're in a bind and it's 4 a.m.? That's that person that, has your back. And that's the person you got to hold on to and invest in them too. It's not, one of my, friends says something like, you have to make 2 deposits before you make a withdrawal, and to make sure we're making those deposits the other direction into our friendships to keep them vibrant and rich. So. Yeah. So let me go on to the next question with you. We're on number 6 here. What is one company that you admire and why?
I'm going to say Moon Pie because they're a fellow nostalgic brand that's in the confectionery business. And they're also family owned and they're Southern. They're 5th generation now. The 5th generation is being groomed to sort of take over from his dad. So it's really a great story. And I love, if you don't follow Moon Pie's Twitter feed, you should. It's like sassy and fun. And they've managed to make this brand really modern and relevant. So I admire that. And I also admire they really make one thing. They make Moon Pie.
Right.
That's it. I mean, they'll rip on the flavors and they do these great flavors and they do a lot of fun marketing around whenever there's a lunar eclipse. Check them out. I mean, they do like a whole like eclipse edition of the moon.
That's cool.
But we are best known, and I can't believe I don't have a log roll around here. I've got boxes. I've got some brittle. I'm at our candy plant today. This is my office is kind of junky, but that's okay. But I do have, this was the log roll that was on my grandfather's desk. He actually had it encased in, I don't know what, plastic. But
yeah, it looks like something from Jurassic Park.
It really does. So it doesn't look that appetizing. Y'all, I promise they're delicious, but we're known for the log roll. And so I seek inspiration from candy companies like Smarties, which is also a family company, 3rd generation run by 3 women. And they make one thing. They make Smarties. We make pecan log rolls. Moon Pie makes Moon Pies. Goo Goo clusters, they make Goo Goos. So I'm inspired by how can you make one thing and do it really, really well and continue to have a loyal customer base or fan base.
Yeah. There's something to be said for staying true to your roots. That's really cool. So let's dive a little deeper. This is a little heavier section here we're going to get into, but I think there's really good lessons to be learned. Tell me about a time you faced adversity and what did you learn from it?
Oh my gosh, so many times. But I guess I'll just give a Stuckey's example. When I bought the company, I had really hard time the first year. It was lonely. I had not found my business partner till the end of that first year. And the stores were losing money. We don't own the Stuckey stores that are still there. They were a franchise. We were out of compliance with federal franchise laws. We were 6 figures in the red. Like there were a lot of challenges and I had 0 business experience. And just that first year was so very hard. And I had a low moment where I was touring all the stores and I went to one store and it was literally falling apart with a big hole in the roof. And that was the moment I realized that we didn't have the capital to revive the stores. I didn't own the stores. I couldn't run a franchise program. I didn't have the capital. I didn't have the human resources. And so I had to make a change. And that moment, seeing that store falling apart and then going in the store and seeing that product was still moving off the shelves made me realize like, oh, I can get SBA financing to get a manufacturing facility and I can revive the company with the product, which is how we started. We started as my grandfather selling candy at a really like a shed. And then the stores came later. So I thought, well, we're going to restart the program, the business, just the way it was started.
Sure.
Snacks and candies, true to the original piece. So that's what we did. And we've been outsourcing all the products. So we brought all that in-house and we make this stuff in-house. I wish, I eat my own product. So you can, this bag is almost empty, but it's delicious. And I thought we're going to source 100% from local farmers. When I bought the company, we were sourcing nuts from all over, wherever they were the cheapest. And so it's
brilliant that you recognize. I love, first of all, you assess the situation. And as you were going through that journey alone at first, but you found the partners, and that's another big key point for business leaders is, it's not good to do it alone, right? There's strength in numbers and getting the right person, but then also assessing like what are our strengths and what are our weaknesses. And that franchising model just didn't seem to be the fit. And that, having all these facilities and the cost of that and how to bring them back. So you said, let's go back to the core of Eastman, Georgia, 1937, selling those pecan logs on the roadside, just like your grandfather did. And here you are in 2024, bringing back that product and getting it in mass shelves and some of the biggest retailers. I mean, that's what a brilliant outcome, but you could have folded. A lot of people could see the adversity and not see the way through it. And credit to you for having the vision to really get clear about who you want to be. I think there's a big lesson in that.
It's been a team. And just to be clear, we haven't scaled the mountaintop of success yet. We are climbing it, and it is a big climb. Like, it's hard. Cash flow is hard. Capital raise is hard. Like, it's not easy, and we're not there yet, but we're doing it.
Yeah. You're on your way, and
we put on a smile, and we do a dance, and we roll out the log rolls, and we just hustle.
Yeah. And I love that. And that's all the more reason why folks, the listening audience should really, give people that are working hard your business, especially when the roots run so deep in this country and what makes us great and supporting American businesses like Stuckey's. So if you see their products out there or buy it online, definitely give them your business. On a lighter note, Stephanie, let me ask you, what's a fun fact about you that a lot of folks may not know?
Well, I'm in my Christmas gear, so I'm going to say I was born on Christmas Day.
No way.
Yes, I love Christmas. It is my favorite holiday, and it's also my birthday.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's easy to remember. I'll never forget your birthday. Yeah, so be on the lookout for a good Christmas card from me every year, and birthday card. Happy Christmas birthday. I'm sure you get some of that. Interestingly enough, my mom's birthday is on the 26th of December. So, we celebrate that right there at the same time. How much time do you dedicate? I know you're slammed, you're busy, reviving this business. How much time do you dedicate to relaxing, and what do you like to do to unwind?
I walk every day. I used to be a runner, and I quit running. I did the Peachtree Road Race this year, 4th of July. That was really my last run. I realized my knees were giving out, and both sides of my family have had knee problems and knee surgeries. And I was like, oh, I need to be kind to my body and not be running on all this pavement. So I ditched running and I started walking. So I went from doing like half-hour runs to hour-long walks every evening. And then in the morning, try to kickstart with like a 30-minute walk, and then just walk everywhere.
Yes.
I try not to take my car. I live in town Atlanta. I'm at our candy plant, Rennes, Georgia, but they'll see me walking around Rennes, Georgia. I like to walk. I walk places. I was just in New Orleans giving a speech, and I had dinner with one of the event hosts, and it was like 2 miles from my hotel to the restaurant. And he said, "Oh, well, did you rent a car?" And I'm like, "No, I walked." He's like, what? You want?
Yeah. Yeah.
I walk.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it's so healthy for you, and it is good, and it's easy on the body. I'm a big time walker too, Stephanie. I walk I try to walk in between meetings sometimes, even if I can make one lap around the neighborhood, just to reset, And
Steve
a lot of
Jobs is famous for, now I read his biography, the one that's like this, the Walter Isaacson, which is really good. And he's a complex person.
Sure.
And there's things about him I don't admire, but there's a lot I do admire. And he had walking meetings. And he would always say, like, come walk. And Phil Knight with Nike.
Yep.
Well, he'd like to have running meetings, but he was always like, hey, you want to go for a run?
Yeah. Yeah. We actually started doing walking meetings during the pandemic just to get people out from their desk, because we found ourselves so consumed with the screens and the laptops and the Teams meetings and Zoom calls. And so we started saying, look, drop all that and get on the phone, and let's just walk and talk and get outside and get some fresh air.
Right. See the world. You see everything so much clearer. You see places and people better. And then if you change your pace up, go slow, go fast, go uphill, go downhill. Like if you change it up, it's a workout, and it's really healthy. So I'm a huge believer in walking.
Yeah, same. That's awesome. So last question, Stephanie, what is your why? What fuels you? I can feel your passion. You can certainly see it. And again, follow Stephanie on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, all the major platforms she's out there. Follow this journey of Stuckey's. But what drives you? What fuels you?
I just love the what we're doing here at Stuckey's, and it is about small towns across this country. We're in a small town, population 3,000. It's about bringing manufacturing back to this country, like making stuff ourselves. It's about believing in people. We hire local people. We hire people from Rennes, Georgia. So it's just creating something of value that you can really stand behind, like the core. Yes, we make snacks and candies, but what are we really doing? We're building jobs. We're building a way of life. We're bringing manufacturing back to this country. We're celebrating local made. So just finding those core grounded values of why we are doing this is what connects me every day. And I guess at its very core, it's about connecting with other people and bringing value to their lives. I mean,
well said.
I'm not just selling pecan log rolls. I am selling America and making stuff in this country and buying local and taking care of our own.
Yes.
I just believe in that fundamentally, and just so blessed.
Check out Stuckey's, visit them online, buy their products, buy it in store, buy it when you're at the airport, see it in the grocery store. You cannot do enough business with this American icon of a brand. And so thank you, Stephanie, for joining the Quick Bite podcast. Be sure to tune in to the next episode. We give business leadership insights in 10 questions. Everyone gets the same 10 questions, so you'll have that predictability. And when you see somebody that's interesting that you really want to tune into, you'll know, hey, we're going to get into their mindset. We're going to get into what makes them tick, what makes them passionate. And I hope you enjoy it. And again, Stephanie, thank you so much. I wish you all the best and continued success.
Thanks, Brian.
The Quick Bite Podcast is proud to shine a spotlight on Giving Kitchen, an incredible nonprofit serving the food service community in times of crisis. From unexpected medical emergencies to natural disasters, Giving Kitchen steps in when life takes an unexpected turn. To learn how you can help support those who serve us every day, visit givingkitchen.com. And while you're at it, subscribe to the Quick Bite Podcast, where leadership meets heart, and join us in making a difference, one episode at a time. Quick Bite Podcast, bite-sized conversations, big-time impact.